Hello all. Welcome back in 2021 on my second channel. I had a series called Dream Roster, which only spanned 2 episodes. One of those rosters I did for was a show where I basically took hypothetical fighting games and made rosters around them. One of those rosters I did was one for Marvel VS Capcom 4. I decided to pick this show back up and do a rebranding just so I can redo that Marvel vs. Capcom 4 roster because I feel like it was too bloated. Also, with the Marvel vs. Capcom collection released not too long ago, I thought the chances of getting a new Marvel vs. Capcom were possible. But then again, not too long ago, I had wrote this script before it happened, but Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls got revealed, that Marvel fighting game made by Arc System Works, where it had that 2D or 2.5D art style and anime look to it. But then again, I just thought, let's still do this video just for good fun. But I hear some of you guys asking stuff like, how is the game going to play? What will the game look like? Will it be a sequel to Infinite? Or even, how many characters would there be? All of that will be answered. I honestly think they should bring back 3v3 systems that made MVC popular. As for what the game should look like, I may be taking this idea from YouTuber Chief of the Red Star, but I think Capcom should collaborate with Arc System Works. I know that they're already, and I'm not just saying that because they're doing because Arc System just works with Marvel now. But after playing Dragon Ball FighterZ, I loved the style that Arc System brought to the table, and I thought it would fit MVC really well. It will not be a sequel to Infinite because I don't feel like fans will want Infinite to be canon, so it could get a proper MVC. As for how many characters, I decided on 64 characters, but I also wanted to challenge myself a little bit. I decided that half of that will be returning characters, while the other half will be characters that have never been in a single MVC game. So without further ado, let's get to the roster. Starting with the Capcom side, let's do the 4 coming back from the first game. Ryu, Chun-Li, Morrigan, and Mega Man. Ryu and Chun-Li are no-brainers. They are the faces of Capcom fighting games, as well as 2 of the 3 faces of Street Fighter. The other we will get to eventually. Morrigan has been in these games since the start, and she is one of the easiest characters to play as for the beginners, as well as being complex enough for competitive players. Also, as well as the face of Darkstalkers, but also the only Darkstalkers rep in every Capcom crossover title. Mega Man will be back too. I will have more Mega Man characters returning too, but this one will be based on his classic Blue Bomber look. I also think that his gearbox system from Mega Man 11 would also be cool to incorporate into his move fit. The next 4 returning will be the ones that appeared in Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Felicia, Ken, Hayato, and Tron Bond. Felicia would be cool to bring back to this series because she is the second face of Darkstalkers, and Ken would be cool to have because he needs more time in the spotlight when it comes to the Capcom vs. series. I know Hayato's would seem bizarre to some people, but both Star Gladiator and Plasma Sword need more love. Now we gotta bring back Tron Bond because she is a fan favorite. She is fun to play in both terms of competitive gameplay and personality. Now we move on to the 4 that made their debut in both MVC3 as well as Ultimate MVC3. They are Phoenix Wright, Wesker, Dante, and Zero. Phoenix Wright will be returning because Ace Attorney is big for Capcom, and a lot of people love playing as him. Wesker will be returning because we need some villains in this game, and he will be the only returning Resident Evil character because I got some new characters on the list that I know people will love. So, by Chris Redfield. Dante will be coming back because he is a huge star for Capcom. Also, we got a new anime series on Netflix not too long ago. But I think that his design should be his work from DMC5 because his past couple of appearances in the Marvel vs. Capcom series have been from DMC3. So, and also DMC5 is the current game in the series. So yeah, we could use an upgrade for Dante. Zero will be back because not only does the Mega Man X series need more love, but also Zero was a big player in the competitive scene. The last 4 returning characters on the Capcom side will be the ones that appeared in Infinite. And I know it was the worst in the series, but it did introduce great new characters on the Capcom side. And they don't deserve to have their only appearance be an Infinite. So I decided to go with X, Jetta, Sigma, and Monster Hunter. X will be returning because when Infinite was first announced, X's inclusion was a big deal, very well received. Both Jetta and Sigma will be returning because, like I said, with Wesker, we need more villain roles. Also, Monster Hunter will be returning because, Monster Hunter is one of Capcom's biggest franchises right now. Now we start with the returning characters on the Marvel side. Starting with the characters that appeared in the first MVC game. Those characters being Spider-Man, Captain America, Hulk, and Wolverine. They have been in these games since the beginning, and they have been big stars in the MCU if we are talking about just Spider-Man, Captain America, and Hulk. Maybe we can give Spider-Man some new gadgets to fight with, like his new gadgets he got in the Insomniac Spider-Man game. And maybe give Hulk a new level 3 super that's a bit more cinematic. We also gotta get the X-Men back in, so why not do it with the biggest face of the X-Men being Wolverine? The next 4 are the ones that first appeared in MVC2, those being Thanos, Doctor Doom, Magneto, and Iron Man. I don't think I need to explain why Iron Man is back. The MCU made him a big name as well as a major player in the comics. Magneto and Doctor Doom will be back because they are important in the Marvel vs. Capcom series, and they are also big in the competitive scene. Thanos will be back because he is also a big villain in the comics. Also, I have seen the box office numbers for both Infinity War and Endgame. I know Thanos will be a big player in this hypothetical game. I know the hype for Thanos has died down quite a bit, but we can still give him a shot. Now for the returning characters from MVC3 and UMVC3 from the Marvel side, those 4 being Ghost Rider, Deadpool, Thor, and Phoenix. I'm mainly putting in Ghost Rider just because I think it would be cool if Ghost Rider would return. Deadpool is one of the most popular Marvel characters right now because of his most recent movie bringing in loads of cash. Also, Thor is coming back because he is a major player in the movies. We also got Phoenix because we can't go wrong with more X-Men. Now, one more thing before I get into the last 4 returning Marvel characters. I am mainly picking. I'm not just trying to pick characters that were just popular in the movies. I mean, I will bring it up from time to time, but it will mainly be focused on the comics. The last 4 returning Marvel characters are the ones that appeared in MVCI. Those 4 being Ultron, Gamora, Black Panther, and Black Widow. Both Ultron and Sigma need a better MVC game to appear in, so yeah, they are both coming back. Thanks to the Guardians movies, they are all big names, so we got to have Gamora. But I do have another Guardian of the Galaxy on the list, and Black Panther and Black Widow were also major players in the movies. So those are the returning characters. That means the other half are new characters, 16 for Marvel and 16 for Capcom. Without further ado, let's get into the new characters. Ada Wong. We are starting with the Capcom side because we are going in alphabetical order. Then we will go into one from the Marvel side after this one. But concerning Ada Wong, Ada is one of the biggest faces in the Resident Evil franchise, just like another character we will get to eventually. Her moveset could be unique, unlike Chris Redfield's, where she could fight more with agility and gadgets. Blade. The half-human, half-vampire character Blade will be cool to have in a Marvel vs. Capcom game, and seeing that we already have Ghost Rider, we could add more of the Midnight Suns in this series. His attacks would consist of sword slashes, fake stabs, and a grab move where he could sink his fangs into you and gain some of his life back, and his supers could involve sword slashes. Excellent. I honestly don't have a whole lot to say about this one. Well, let's get Axel in this game just so he can be with X and Zero, Daredevil. With the new series Daredevil Born Again being very popular, as well as Daredevil being one of my favorite superheroes in the Marvel Universe, by the way, let's get Daredevil in here. I have a feeling Daredevil would get in here and he would be a very combo-heavy character. His level 3 super could be him taking you into a hallway for a cinematic where it is a hallway fight like in the Netflix series Botsu. Of course, we have to get some rival school representation. I know Akira was in Street Fighter V, so that would seem like the better choice, but Botsu is the main character, so Botsu will be here instead. I also know that he was in Tatsunoko vs. Capcom, but honestly, if the next MVC needs rival schools representation, it's Botsu. Green Goblin. I think these games need more Spider-Man villains other than Venom, so we need Green Goblin in this game. His main attacks would consist of pumpkin bombs, finger lasers, sending his glider across the screen, and one of his supers could be him dragging you across the screen with his glider. Dimitri. I don't necessarily have a whole lot to say about this one either, because he already has a moveset saying that he is a fighting game character. So we could put him in here because he is the original protagonist of Darkstalkers. King's Head. I don't necessarily have a whole lot to say about this one other than we definitely need more Spider-Man villain than Venom. Donovan. Of course, we need more Darkstalkers representation, so why not go with Donovan? Also, the crossover possibilities would be cool. Who wouldn't want to see a scene where Donovan interacts with Blade? Now, seeing that he is already a fighting game character, we already know a majority of his moveset, but his level 3 super could be him turning into his immortal form to deliver a devastating slash attack. Loki. Another character popular thanks to the MCU, he could be a counter and status effect heavy character. If you try to attack him, he could disappear and reappear behind you to attack you by stabbing you with the Spectre. Edward Falcon. Now let's get a little obscure with Edward Falcon from Power Stones. We could have a mechanic where he collects the Power Stones and he goes into his super form and fire rockets and charge at the opponent from across the screen. Magic. Seeing that we are bringing the X-Men, we gotta have some new faces in the mix. So let's go with Magic. She won't be the only new X-Men character here, but with her popularity in Marvel Rivals as well as recent Marvel Comics as a whole, she has to be. Her sword could be used for melee attacks. She could also use magic like Doctor Strange and even fire attacks like Dormammu. But her level 3 super could be where she teleports you to Limbo and lets the demons attack you. Ibuki. Seeing that Ibuki is a fighting game character, her moveset is pretty straightforward, so I don't have a whole lot to say about her, other than this is a Street Fighter character that would be cool to have. Moon Knight. With new audiences knowing who Moon Knight is thanks to his show on Disney+, Moon Knight would also be cool to add because we already have Ghost Rider and Blade on here, so why not add another Midnight Sun? Also, he could play somewhat like a Mortal Kombat character, and he could experiment with different fighting styles. Not that he's going to be ripping out anybody's spinal cords, so I mean, that probably won't get this game a T rating. Jury. Of course, being one of the most popular characters in Street Fighter 4, Jury could play like she does in the Street Fighter series. Enough said. Miss Marvel. I know I know the hype around her has kind of died a little bit thanks to that Avengers game from 2020. But we gotta have Miss Marvel in here because she was a big name in comics before she made her debut, before she appeared in that Avengers game nobody likes. But she would attack with entirely physical attacks, but still have a wide range. One of her supers could be where she throws her fist and smash the opponent several times. Lady. Not only is Lady a popular Devil May Cry character, but she is a walking arsenal. Her attacks will mainly consist of her weapons, and for one of her supers, she could use Paulina and her rocket launcher to rapid fire at the opponent like Jill Valentine in Marvel VS Capcom 2. Mystique. Mystique is one of the X-Men's biggest villains, yet she has yet to appear in these games. Spiral being another shapeshifting character from the X-Men comics got into MVC before season. While she is a shape-shifting character, she could also use some attacks involving guns, and one of her supers you could shapeshift into other characters to deliver a long combo similar to Spiral in the older Marvel vs. Capcom games. Leon Kennedy. Yes, this was the Resident Evil character I was talking about. Leon Kennedy, specifically the one based on his design from Resident Evil 4. Of course, Leon would attack with guns and maybe some knife slashes, but Ashley could come in and throw you a herb that could either bring your health back up or raise your super meter. Nightcrawler. Out of all the X-Men people wanting this series, Nightcrawler is a top tier, and I can see why. He's got a fun personality and he's a swashbuckler. Now, most of his attacks would mainly involve sword slashes and teleporting, but his level 3 super could be similar to Hit's super from Dragon Ball FighterZ, Lord Raptor. Okay, last Darkstalkers character, at least for the starting roster. I promise, but Lord Raptor would be a good pick because we can't go wrong with more villains. Also, we gotta have him interact with Deadpool or Dante to see who can talk the most smack. Seeing that he is already a fighting game character, we don't really have to come up with a moveset for him. Maybe a few slight changes, but he wouldn't necessarily have to go to Punisher. I have a feeling that the Punisher needs to be in the next Marvel vs. Capcom, mainly because if it wasn't for that Punisher beat-em-up game they released, there probably wouldn't be no X-Men Children of the Atom or any Marvel fighting game by Capcom. Of course, most of his attacks would involve guns. Hero. So for the last Devil May Cry character, let's go with Nero, especially seeing that he was a big deal in Devil May Cry 5. Scarlet Witch. Ever since Avengers Infinity War and Endgame, as well as stuff like WandaVision, there is a whole new audience for Wanda Maximoff. She is also a major player in the comics, so yeah, we have to get Scarlet Witch in here. She could even use chaos magic for her attacks. Princess Devilots. This is more of an obscure pick, but does anybody remember Jin in MVC 1 and 2? He's from Cyberbots. And this is the game where Princess Devilot is from the same... I don't really have a whole lot to say about this one, but her moveset would be very similar to her moves from Project X Zone. You know that game series where Capcom, Bandai Namco, and Sega characters cross over? Enough said. Squirrel Girl. I have a feeling that we have to we have got to get Squirrel Girl in here because she has been a major player in recent comics. Also, I think she has a new fan base thanks to Marvel rivals, Proto Man. Of course, we need more Mega Man representation, but I wanted to represent classic Mega Man. So we got Proto Man. He could mainly fight like Mega Man, but involved some attack with his shield, Star-Lord. I know I already have Gamora on the list, but seeing that Rocket Raccoon isn't on the starting roster, I still wanted to get another Guardian of the Galaxy, so I decided to go with its leader, Star-Lord. And I have a feeling that he would fight like a high-tech version of Chris Redfield, Regina. I think it's about time we give Dino Crisis some love, so let's go with Regina. Some of her attacks, I could see her summoning Velociraptors to attack her opponents, kind of like how Jill would summon zombies. As for one of her supers, she could summon a T-Rex to attack the player. Seeing that this is Marvel vs. Capcom 4 and we already have Doctor Doom in this hypothetical roster, we gotta go with a member of the Fantastic Four. So I'm going to go with Vega. Okay, this one is somewhat biased. Vega is one of my mains in the Street Fighter games. But I think Vega would be cool to see in these games, seeing that he is a fighting game character. He wouldn't have to change a whole lot. Vision. If we are having Scarlet Witch in this game, we gotta have Vision. Also because of the popularity of stuff like Ada Wong, Axel, Botsy, Black Panther, Black Widow, Blade, Captain America, Chun-Li, Dante, Daredevil, Deadpool, Dimitri, Donovan, Doctor Doom, Edward Falcon, Felicia, Gamora, Ghost Rider, Green Goblin, Aoto, Hulk, Kabuki, Iron Man, Jeddah, Yuri, Ken, Kingpin, Lady, Leon Kennedy, Loki, Lord Raptor, Magic, Magneto, Mega Man, Monster Hunter, Moon Knight, Morrigan, Miss Marvel, Mystique, Nero, Nightcrawler, Phoenix, Phoenix Wright, Princess Devilot, Proto Man, Punisher, Regina, Ryu, Scarlet Witch, Sigma, Spider-Man, Squirrel Girl, Star-Lord, Thanos, Thing, Thor, Tron, Ultron, Vega, Vision, Wesker, Wolverine, X, and Z. That's a pretty big roster, but there's more. Because in the modern day, you can't just stop there. We need DLC characters. I'm just going to go through them real quick, but I got 7 DLC packs lined up, and they contain 6 characters each, 3 from Capcom and 3 from Marvel, but 4 of them will be returning and 2 will be entire new characters. For DLC pack 1, we got Strider Hiri, Akuma from Street Fighter, and Tyron from Darkstalkers being the new face for the Capcom side. Then we got the return in Marvel characters like Venom and Cyclops, and the new character being Black Bolt. For DLC Pack 2, starting with the Capcom side, we got Roll from the Mega Man series, but she could play more like she did in Tatsunoko vs. Capcom, Sakura from Street Fighter, and Lady Dimitrescu from Resident Evil, who I know a lot of fans will go crazy for her. Now for the Marvel side, I got Gambit, Psylocke, and Elsa Bloodstone, because of course we gotta have more Midnight Suns representation, as well as more X-Men, of course. For DLC Pack 3 on the Capcom side, I got Captain Commando, M. Bison from Street Fighter, and Claire Redfield from Resident Evil. As for the Marvel side, I got War Machine, Juggernaut, and Carnage from Bluefish. For DLC Pack 4 on the Capcom side, I picked Zangief from Street Fighter, Arthur from Ghosts and Goblins, and Base from Mega Man. As for the Marvel side, I picked Rogue, Hawkeye, and Ant-Man. For DLC Pack 5 on the Capcom side, I picked Frank West from Dead Rising, Virgil from Devil May Cry, and Poison from Final Fight being the new character. As for the Marvel side, I picked Storm, Iron Fist, and Dr. Octopus. For DLC Pack 6, on the Capcom side, I picked Tosinko from Darkstalkers, Mike Hagar from Final Fight, and Tessa from Red Alert being the new character. For the Marvel side, I picked Sentinel, Rocket Raccoon, and Elektra being the new character. For DLC Pack 7, on the Capcom side, I picked Jin Sayatomi from Cyberbots, Beautiful Joe, and and John Talbane for Darkstalker. For the Marvel side, I picked Iceman, Taskmaster, and Shang-Chi. And that is it for the DLC, the whole shebang. I could keep going, but this video will have to end. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this as much as I had fun making this video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell for new videos. Also be sure to follow me on TikTok and Instagram. As always, my name is Mac. Have a nice day.
I see it, and now it's all within my reach. I see it now. It's always been inside.